Welcome to our fairy tale retcons. I'm Meeka Nomicon, and this is no more Little Match Girl. You don't see the carriage coming. You're halfway across the street, darting around pedestrians and ducking between horses, like you have a million times before, when you hear the clomping of hooves and the shouting of mouth. You turn towards the oncoming carriage, flustered and... well, freezing right now would be a bad idea. In fact, it's such a bad idea, I kinda want to click it. But no, I'll be kind and try and keep Little Match Girl alive a little while longer. So jump out of the way, kid. Your quick reflexes save you. You dive out from in front of the carriage, and it breezes past you harmlessly. You do lose one of your two big shoes, however, and catch a few dirty looks from nearby grown-ups. Typical. Well, it could be worse. I mean, in the original Hans Christian Andersen one, you do lose both shoes. And then you get neither of them back. So technically, we're off to a better start already. But unfortunately the kid that finds our shoe is already here. There's a kid standing in front of you, looking hardly better off than you are. He's holding the shoe you lost. It's freezing out, and you'd really appreciate not having your toes fall off from frostbite. This is yours, right? What's your name? I don't think the kid was actually given a name in the original story. At least, I might be wrong, but I don't remember her being given one. But I'm Meek regardless. It's Meek. Can I have my shoe back? The boy ignores you. His eyes land on the box hanging around your neck. What have you got there? You open the lid of the box. Matches. My mother sent me out to sell them and told me not to come back until they're all gone. Would you like to buy one? Do I look like I've got money on me? I'll trade you your shoe for one, though. The boy pulls out a cigarette and holds your shoe out to you. I think I'd rather face Mother's wrath at giving away a match than I would facing frostbite and losing some toes. So sure, whatever, I'll trade you. Sure. Mother would be more upset at me losing my shoe than losing out on 2 cents. The boy smiles and hands over your shoe as you toss him a match. He strikes it on the wall and lights a cigarette. Pleasure doing business with you, Meek. Well, we were hardly doing business. More that you were extorting my shoe from me. I mean, both items were mine to begin with, buddy. He tips his silly newsboy hat at you and walks off down the street. It's getting dangerously cold out here. The fine ladies in their furs and the gentlemen in their warm coats don't spare a glance at you. You plod slowly down the street, hoping to find somewhere to take shelter. Eventually, you come to the front steps of a manor house. It looks like the stoop leading up to the front door would provide a bit of protection from the wind. Inside, you can hear laughter and music. Through the windows, you can see well-dressed people in a beautifully decorated parlor dominated by a tall Christmas tree. Aww. I mean, I would knock on the front door and ask to come inside, but let's face it, they won't let me. So what if I just keep quiet, keep out of sight, and sit under the stoop and try to get warm? That sounds like the better idea. You crouch down in the corner next to the house's front stoop. You don't seem any warmer, and in fact, the snow now covering your backside and the brick walls you've burrowed against just make the chill seem worse. This isn't going to work. You have to get warm somehow. You see, my problem with knocking on the front door is that there's a very low chance that they'll help me, right? And it seems like most likely scenario is they're going to come out, yell at me and try and chase me away. You know what? Let's light a match. You open your box of matches. You know that your mother will have your hide if you use these yourself. But desperate times call for desperate measures. How many do you light? I mean, it makes sense just to do one, right? Get a little bit of warmth. But, oh. And I like the plan of upcharging the remaining ones to make up for the rest. If we can't sell any originally, are we going to be able to upcharge them at all? And you know what? My desire for carnage wants me to click this one. Sod it. We're going to light all of them, screw it. You take all of the matches out of the box. letting the cardboard case fall to the snow at your feet, and scrape the matches along the brick wall. Wait, hold on. You're lighting them all at once. Well, this was a foolish thing to do. I thought you'd at least make them last a little while. They light all at once, and you're left holding a fireball in your hands. You scream, tossing the matches to the ground, but a few of them catch on the wooden boards of the house's front stoop. Oh man, I'm gonna set fire to the parlor, aren't I? Whoops. The house goes up in flames almost immediately. There wouldn't have been time to do anything about it, even if you had wanted to. It was warm, blissfully warm. Nobody else was out on the streets, but you knew it was only a matter of time before curious neighbors or a fire department arrived. You further knew, however, that there was an expensive-looking candlestick just inside the front door. If you went quickly, you might be able to grab it and make your escape. I'm gonna get caught in the fire, aren't I? You know what? Maybe we should try and grab it anyway, just to prevent our mother from murdering us. So we either die by mother or we die by fire. Let's risk the candlestick. You crack open the front door, the knob already scalding to the touch. You can hear people screaming and glass shattering from the other room. But there, the candlestick is on the table, close enough for you to grab and make a break for it. You reach out to grab it. Closer. Closer. Someone on the other side of the door grabs your arm and yanks you into the burning house. It's William. His hair singed and his arms burned. He pulls you to the ground, glaring at you with murderous hatred. You yell at him to let you go, beating at his face, but he doesn't loosen his grip. The flames are coming closer, the smoke burning your eyes and choking you. Disorientated, you try to claw your way towards the open door, but William pins you to the floor. You scratch at the wooden floor, hard enough to make your fingernails bleed, but it's no use. The fire travels fast, and the house is soon completely engulfed. By the time the fire department comes, it's unsalvageable. The bodies recovered cannot be identified. In the front hall, there are two small corpses mounted together. Well, that ended poorly for us. Then again, I can't really say it wasn't deserved since I have accidentally murdered a group of people by, chucking away some matches, huh? But you know what? We're gonna let the place burn, and then we're gonna ignore the candlestick. We are not going for that thing. Who needs a candlestick? Not you. You're just an innocent little girl who was nowhere near this house when it caught fire. You bolt, sprinting down the street towards your neighborhood. Who cares if you weren't able to sell your matches? You'll think of something to tell your mother to get her off your case. You slow to a halt a good number of blocks away from the inferno. Already, you can hear the fire brigade tearing down the street towards the house. You rip the matchbox off from around your neck and throw it into a gutter, and then snap the icicle off a nearby fence. You cut a gash to the side of your head with the icicle, sending blood dripping down your face. The blood is wonderfully warm against the cold of the December night. You set off towards home again, the blood threatening to spill into your eyes. That would help sour your lie, you realize, and tilt your head down to encourage extra theatrics. Your mother would be too bewildered by your injury to ask about the matchbox, and even if she did, you just say that the right kid you met earlier beat you up and stole them. Who knows? You might even get a break from selling matches for a day or two. So, have I just set up the little match girl for a life of crime now? I mean, we did just help her get away with arson. Okay, so what happens if let's just not light all of them in one go, and maybe we can avoid them burning the house down. So, how about we just light one of them? It won't be missed. You light one match, and the flame barely makes a dent in the icy chill, threatening to take over your whole body. You watch the flame dance, mesmerized, and after an uncertain amount of time, a woman appears before you. You look up at the woman and recognize her immediately. Frightened, you back further against the wall, holding your matches out in front of you. She says, Don't be afraid, my dear. Don't you recognize your own granny? You respond, my grandmother is dead. Ah, maybe so. But I am not the only one here who is dead, she replies. You notice suddenly that you no longer feel the cold of the December night. You no longer feel hunger. You no longer feel anything. You don't respond. You just stare at the ghost of your grandmother before you. Your grandmother says, I've come to take you home. Are you ready to go? Well, I don't suppose I've got much of a choice about it if I'm already dead. Yes, let's go. Your grandmother smiles. Then let's be off. She takes your hand, and together, the two of you depart. I wonder if I can actually choose to live then, if I refuse to go with our grandmother. No, but I suppose it's not up to me, is it? Your grandmother smiles sadly. No, it isn't. I remember not being ready when my time came, but death always comes precisely when it's meant to. Now, let's be off. She takes your hand, and together, the two of you depart. Ah, I guess there's no escaping death then. So maybe lighting a few of the matches was the way to go. Enough to keep us warm, but not enough to burn the house down. You grab a handful of matches and strike them against the brick wall. They burst into flames, glowing brightly, and the heat of them warms your frigid hands. You smile, mesmerized by the light, and don't notice the woman stepping out of the house's front door. The woman looks you up and down, taking in your thin dress and tangled hair. She sniffs. Can I help you? I'm gonna die on your front porch. Maybe... Actually, do you know what? Why don't we just ask her to buy the box and then we can go home, right? Hello, ma'am. My name is Meek, and I'm a door-to-door match seller. Would you care to purchase a box? It's time sensitive. The woman gives you a tight smile. I'm sorry, but we have enough matches already. She moves to shut the door. I can start crying. Potentially make the situation awkward and her to feel sorry for me. Wait. Lady, if you don't scrub to give her $2 for me, I'm going to set your house on fire? Well, we have done that already, so it feels only fair that we say this, right? Lady, if you don't scrape together $2 for me, I'm going to use these matches to set your house on fire. The woman glares at you. How dare you? Get off my property, or I'll call the police and have you arrested. She slams the door in your face without another glance. You sigh, defeated, and... I could try and set our house on fire. We've done it before. To be fair, I did threaten it, and I feel like I've got to see it through now. So just strike a match and hold it against the wood of the front porch. The house goes up in flames immediately. I've become the arsonist again. Okay, I've had my pettiness. So how about instead we just curl up in the corner trying to take shelter from the cold? Then again, I feel like this ending is just going to give us our grandmother appearing again, right? You look up at the woman and recognize her immediately. Yeah, grandmother is back. Okay, so clearly threatening to burn down the house was not the quick solution here. So maybe if I just tell the truth, that our mother is going to be really upset if we don't sell anything. Maybe that will get her to feel pity on us? You don't understand. If I don't sell all of these matches, my mother is going to punish me. Could you please spare some change? The woman's smile falls, and she looks at you with pity. She calls back into the house. Will you? Go and fetch my coin purse. A moment later, a young boy appears. The boy smiles when he sees you. Are you the girl who gave Fitz a match earlier? He came by to drop off some cookies from his mother's bakery and shared his cig with me. You nod. William hands the coin purse to his mother. Buy her matches if you want, but I think we should invite her inside. She's obviously freezing out here. But we don't know this girl. I can vouch for her. Oh, You know, I suddenly feel really bad about getting you killed, William. I promise I know how to behave in polite company, and I won't be missed at home. The woman holds the door for you, and you step inside the house. Immediately, you feel much warmer, and the scent of food wafting in from the dining room is almost too much to handle. William leads you into the dining room, where a gaggle of well-dressed people are sitting around a table, laden with food. They look up as you enter, shooting confused glances at your dirty dress and ill-fitting shoes. William introduces you to everybody, and they all end up being very welcoming. Over the course of dinner, you and William get along splendidly, and you find that you have many common interests and things to talk about. The food is some of the best you've ever had, way better than your mother's potato and leek soup, and you end the meal feeling satisfied. After dinner, William walks you to the door. He gives you an old coat that he had outgrown, so that you wouldn't be too cold on the way home. He asks if you'd like to come visit again, and you say that you would. The two of you say goodbye, and just before you head out of the door, you... Wait, still the expensive looking candlestick. I can't do that. I mean, they were just so nice to me. That feels really mean. I'll just kiss William on the cheek, it's fine. Having successfully nabbed your prize, you run, flying down the snowy streets, but not feeling the chill at all. So if we refuse to trade him for a match, do you reckon he makes a break fit with our shoe? No way! Each match costs 2 cents. If the math doesn't add up when I get home, my mother will kill me. The boy scowls. Fine, keep your stupid matches. He shoves you, knocking you into a patch of snow, and takes off down the road, your shoe in hand. If you don't get inside soon, you'll catch your death. It's getting dangerously cold out here. The fine ladies in their fur coats and the gentlemen in their warm coats don't spare a glance at you. So I wonder if she'll take pity on me, now that I've only got one shoe. If you don't let me inside right now, I'm going to die on your front porch. The woman looks appalled. She opens her mouth as if to say something to you, but she glances backwards into the house. William, can you come here, please? A moment later, a boy around your age appears in the doorway. The boy glares at you when he sees you. Wait, you're the girl who refused to give Fitz a match earlier, aren't you? He came over earlier and told me all about you, and then we peed in your stupid shoe. Well, that's a little bit petty. Can't even choose the shoe now. Do you know this girl, William? Don't buy any of her stupid matches. They're probably defective anyway. The mother nods and slams the door in your face, without another glance. Well, that was unfortunate. You sigh, defeated and... Well, I either burn your house down or I die from the cold. Either way, it's not going to end well for anyone. Wait, hold on, that's new. So apparently when we're dying, we can ask to take the boy who lives in the house with us? Well, I suppose it is partially his fault we're about to die. Your grandmother sighs. I suppose you can bring a +1. She phases through the house's wall, and a moment later, you hear screams of horror from inside. You draw a happy face in the snow with your toe, while you wait. A moment later, your grandmother reappears, holding William under her arm. He glares at you. You grin at the boy. You should have brought my damn matches. William spits at your feet, adding a globby nose to the happy face you just drew. Your grandmother yells, All right, children, enough. Let's be off. She takes your hand, with one not holding William, and together, the three of you depart. Okay, so if basically telling the truth gets us inside, right? And threatening gets us dead. Why don't we just start crying? The woman looks disturbed, and then embarrassed. She tries to shush you, but you keep sobbing louder. Fine, fine. How much for a box? You perk up immediately. $2. The woman digs around in her coin purse and dumps a handful of quarters into your hands. Keep the change. Well, that worked better than I thought it would. She retreats back into her house. Triumphant, you walk home, your handful of coins tucked safely into your apron pocket. Your house is much smaller than the woman's, a ramshackle old thing squished between two dirty buildings. You step inside, and it's only marginally warmer than it had been outside. Your mother looks up from her cookpot as you enter. She says, "Didn't I tell you not to come back here until you sold that box of matches?" You reply, "I did tell them, Mama." You hold out your earnings for the day, and your mother snatches them out of your hand. "Good, you've earned your supper for tonight. It's potato and leek soup again." You sit down at the table as your mother sets a shallow wooden bowl in front of you. She ruffles your hair. "Don't look so disappointed. It could have been worse. You could have died." And now for the most tempting decision. Even though clearly the outcome shall be death, we must freeze in the face of the cabbage. That is a lot of blood. Oh, we took a real bad hit to the head, huh? The cabbage hits you, spraying little girl chunks across the cobblestones. You're dead. Do we accept it, or do we claim this is dumb? God damn it! This is dumb. You're the one who ran out in the middle of traffic, and then just stood there. Maybe try moving next time, stupid. In my defense, I got all the other endings first, okay? Well, at least we gave the little match girl a better ending. In most of the endings, anyway. Maybe not when she became little girl chunks. If you enjoyed your time here, I'd greatly appreciate you like this video and subscribe to this channel. But other than that, you're spooked there, and I'll catch you next time, guys.